he just trying to make sure we get to week one because in the past, injuries have happened for this team, and so you got to take a different approach. You know what I'm saying? He's a new coach, and he want to take a different approach and trying to make sure that we are the healthiest and the fastest we can be for week one. And so, how we practice and how we do things behind closed doors, like the extra conditioning and all that little stuff, he's happy with. So we just gonna make sure we keep going so that we can get to game one.
Go ahead, Les, and then Martin.
Howdy, BG. So
What up,
there was
Les?
a
I
lot of
thought you was
talk.
gone, man. I thought you was
Well,
out of here.
I love you too much. I can't leave, but I do a little bit here and there. But
Yeah.
so there was a lot of talk last week about the joint practices and the preseason game. The preseason game was so different from the joint practices. A lot of people feel the joint practices are at least as valuable or more valuable than the games. How do you feel about that? Are the joint practices really, really valuable? Is there anything there that you don't get in a game that, how do you see that equation? What's the difference between the two?
I feel it's very valuable because the first day we went out there was a lot of energy. Everybody was trying to prove themselves, let them know which team is better at practicing and all that little stuff. And I felt like we went harder that first day. We had more reps than we seen in training camp this year on those days. And so those days, I ain't gonna lie. After the day was over, I was getting ready to go to sleep because we was that wore out, and that's how it was. The intensity was high, so I think they're very valuable. And whatever coach wants you to do going into the game, if you want to play, I mean, if he wants you to play or not play, some of that call, most of that call is to make sure that you don't injure yourself because they seen what they needed to see during the week. And so I guess it's nothing else to prove other than just make sure that we're ready for game one.
All right, thanks.
Go ahead, Martin, and then Zach.
ABG. When you're watching the game Thursday night from the sidelines and you're seeing like maybe some of the younger players get opportunity and maybe struggle here and there, like what are you telling them after the game? Like, is there any kind of teaching moment that you and maybe Fletch and some of the other veterans are doing?
Well, going into the game, we was telling them you're gonna see they starters, so that we're gonna see what you made of, because they had their starters out there. You want to go against their best. This their best. Their best is coming out, and so I felt like those guys got good work. A lot of those guys just need to get the experience of just being in an NFL game, enjoying that moment, and making sure that you just go out there playing free, because that's the whole point of preseason, to show your talent, show what you can do, just going straight and just beating your guy on your one on ones. And so we try not to make it too hard. Just want to go out there and just put max effort. And whenever you get tired, we try to get another guy in. And so we just kept talking to them in that world and making sure that they're getting off the ball on the D line and doing our part of what we supposed to do as a position group. And I think those guys got some real good work.
Go ahead, Zach, and then John.
Hey, Brandon, what have you learned about this team during the past 3+ weeks that you didn't know when you got here?
That we're headed in the right direction. I love just how the attitude of what we bring to practice every day. That's the first start, and then I'm loving how coaches structuring everything and running everything, because I feel like I'm ramping up, getting ready for this first game, and it's happening every day. I'm getting better. Like what we say, 1%. We getting that 1%, and whatever it is I'm working on that day, I try to make sure it's just one little thing. Maybe it's a get off today. Maybe I want to work on not false stepping or just being the vet in me. I try to push that off on the young guys and let them know it's a long season. There's so much that you're gonna have to work as the season go, and as you adjust, just make sure you just do one thing, because it can be overwhelming. And so I try to make sure that we keep that up of practicing the way we've been practicing. So that's one thing that I noticed about this team.
Go ahead, John, and then EJ.
Hey, BG. I want to go back a little bit to what you said about the goal being get to week one as healthy as possible. So from a health standpoint, you said a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was, you can probably play a number of more years. You feel so good, but you've been through this before. How do you feel from a preparation standpoint?
Oh, I feel really good. I think JG is getting us, ahead of schedule on where we need to what we need to be thinking about. The plays, all the plays are in. Everybody seems to know where they need to be. Now it's all about just getting that chemistry, continuing to build that chemistry together as we run plays. But I feel like they be spot on with a lot of things, and some things we just got to keep getting better at as a whole defense. But I'm loving how prepared I feel going in as far as knowing what guys gonna do.
Go ahead, EJ.
Hey, BG, kind of piggybacking off of that, how do you feel physically, with the shorter practices and the emphasis on rest, compared to in the years past?
I feel real good. I feel like I can go harder. I don't have to save anything because I know we are still working, but it's not as taxing as Sometimes you can know that, man, we got a lot today, so you'll try to save yourself a little bit just so that you can make sure that you make it through the whole practice. And so I feel like every practice that we've had, I'm able to just go and not even worry about it because we got limited reps, but those reps mean something, and every rep means something. But I mean, even more now because of the lesser reps that we take each and every day.
We have time for one more for BG, and then we'll get Miles. So we'll end it here with Ed.
Hey, BG. It's such a different preseason with just 3 games, and then there's kind of a 16-day lag between Friday and then the opener. How do you stay sharp in that time? And would you like to get some, actual, reps in a real game rather than just kind of those practice reps? Because I assume they're a little bit different when they're in a game condition versus a practice condition.
Yeah, and in these practices, you're not getting schemed up like you would in the game, and so I think that those practices, you going out there and you going hard against the guys, and they're working on what they need to work on, and we working on what we do, and so it's just all about making sure that you getting ready for that game. And I think with the intensity of another team coming in, is beneficial because you don't want to look bad. Another team is here, and so they're gonna be watching that film too. And so you're gonna put your best foot forward each and every day that we get to go against whoever we're playing. So I think that we just gotta make sure that we do our preparation ourselves too of what coach is telling us, and we gotta make sure we put in work when nobody's looking and making sure that we're doing our part. So. So far, so good, but everything is different when you get schemed up in the game. And we know the game plan, and they have a game plan, and we just got to execute it. So that's the difference. We don't have a game plan in preseason.
All right. Thanks for the time, BG.
Yep.